Hey everyone, it is back for another DCGO profile video, and this time it's going to actually be another competitive deck. So I know that sometimes I do competitive builds, sometimes I just do fun builds for fun, but I just want to let you all know that this is a pretty competitive build. So if you have been watching my videos for a while, you should know that I really like rush style decks. For a good while, I have been loving Armor Rush. This was really BT8, BT9, BT10 meta. I just absolutely loved Armor Rush. And I even posted this deck list. Like, I posted this deck profile video before. But now that we have the simulator, I can actually show you the gameplay of the deck. So I posted this deck list months ago. It is unchanged. Everything that you see here is basically BT12 and before, with the exception of the promo Ukomon and promo Louis. So I don't quite remember when exactly which format, but I think BT13 format. But basically everything here is maybe BT14 format was when we got Ukomon and Louis. But basically everything here, really old, but the deck still actually works. Oh, and also promo Veemon. But yeah, let's go over the deck profile video. I find that this deck doesn't really need to be changed. Armor Rush, the game plan still remains the same. You just swing rapidly into your opponent's security and then just win by many swings. But yeah, let's go over the deck profile video. I have again posted this before. If you want to see like the physical deck profile video, it should be on my channel. But let's go over the deck profile video on the simulator. So I have 4 Wanyamons from BT11. This is the best draw egg for the deck. So inherited effect when attacking once per turn. If you have a blue tamer in play, draw 1. So you are playing so many blue tamers, you will most likely draw when you're attacking with this Wanyamon. So I am playing 2 Davises, 3 Davis and Kens, 4 Davis promos, so then that is 9 blue tamers. So chances are pretty likely you will draw. So this 5th egg, I just wanted a 5th egg, just in case you do end up wanting to digivolve 5 times over your eggs instead of just 4 times. But it really is a choice between BT1 Upomon or I forgot what it is actually, but there is like this other egg, Drock, like it's in my deck profile video if you wanted to see what it was, but there is a really good draw egg. Yeah, so if you wanted to, you could use Bebedomon from BT10 instead. When attacking once per turn, if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, draw 1. So the chances are pretty likely that they will have 2 or more Digimon in play, especially since this format, especially people are starting to rush out again. Instead of having single stack builds, they're most likely having 2 or more Digimon in play. So this Bebedomon is just pretty good for drawing. Or, you know, you can also use Upomon in the event that your opponent is just hard playing out rookies. Really up to you. But yeah, 4 Wanyamons, BT11, and then your choice of BT1 Upomon or BT10 Bebedomon for extra draw. So I find that even if you don't get the extra draw, it is still worth it to run a 5th egg. Because even if you don't get the extra draw, just having an extra attack is pretty good for rush decks especially. 4 of the BT3 jamming Veemon. So jamming is just pretty good. So after you promote out your egg, or you promote Veemon out of raising, you can attack right away. So you have jamming, you will live unless you got blocked, or unless some kind of security effect or some kind of passive effect deletes your Veemon. But most likely, you know, Veemon is just here. Veemon is just getting cheap attacks in. You can also basically guarantee that Veemon will live you know, assuming that you don't get hit by security bombs and such. But then after you live, you then digivolve into Flamedramon, or into Lodgermon, or into Magnetmon. Hopefully you can unsuspend and then swing again. So that is just a pretty nice way to get some quick damage in. And then worst case scenario, your armor form does get deleted next turn. You armor purge. Then you have this Veemon. Veemon is now on field. And you can swing again with jamming the next turn. But yeah, I really like jamming Veemon. So I'm going to pass over this for now. We will definitely get back to this starter deck 8 Veemon. 4 of the BT12 Veemons, it is a pretty good searcher. So on play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with the Imperial Dramon in its name or free trait, and 1 card with Davis Mamiya in its name among them to your hand. Basically, all of your Digimon, with the exception of Lanamon, Chimeramon, and Defexmon, have the free trait. So even Ukamon has a free trait. So you can basically search for everything except for your hybrid, your DNA Digivolution Digimon, and your Defexmon. So basically everything that you kind of want to Digivolve Veemon into, or even Veemons or Ukamons you can search for, which is pretty nice. I am playing actually all of my blue Tamers. So 9 Tamers with Davis in name. So, you know, you can just pretty reliably get a Digimon. Chances are pretty good that you will also get a Davis in name Tamer. The end of turn inheritable does not matter because you don't really want to DNA Digivolve end of turn. Like, you technically could because of this Chimeramon. But you don't really use it for the inheritable. This promo Veemon, really good for 2 main reasons. So the main effect, your turn once return, when this Digimon would digivolve into a card with a free trait, if you have a Tamer, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. So basically, when you go into any of your armor forms, be it Flamedramon, Magnamon, or Lydramon, it will cost 1 less, which is pretty nice. And that is also why I'm playing 13 Tamers, so then you have so much Tamers. You can basically guarantee draws from Wanyamon. You can basically guarantee reduced cost Digivolution from Veemon. And these Tamers add a bunch of tempo to your gameplay too. So they do serve a purpose. But it also has this really nice inheritable. When attacking, if this Digimon has 2 or more colors, draw 1. Because you're just playing out Tamers from hand, especially Louis, Owada, or you're playing out Defexmon from hand, or you're playing out your Searcher Veemon from hand, you kind of want the draw power so you can keep a consistent hand going. So this inheritable, pretty nice, just to let you draw when you attack, basically with your armor forms or even Chimeramon. But yeah, really nice inheritable. Now going back to the starter deck 8 Veemon, I do not care about the your turn main effect. You do not play any All-Force Veedramons in the deck, so it does not come up. However, the inheritable, when attacking, if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, trigger draw 1. It is definitely not as strong as this promo Veemon inheritable. So this promo Veemon will always trigger, will always resolve, I should say, when you're attacking underneath an armor form. This Veemon inheritable sometimes can trigger, sometimes it can't, but I still include it in the deck because it does still draw for me sometimes. Drawing is just really good for the deck. Obviously not as good as the promo Veemon. So promo Veemon at 4, starter deck 8 Veemon, not as good, still good enough. So it's in the deck at 2. 4 Ukamons for the deck. So do I really need Ukamons? Not really. But Ukamon is one of my favorite Digimon. Not even considering its effects, but like just as a whole is a Digimon that I really like one of my favorite Digimon. So I just wanted to include Ukamon into my deck. This was before people would splash Ukamons into their deck. Like, I made this deck months ago, like months before we got Numemon X Antibody, months before we got like the whole Ukamon craze. But Ukamon is you know, pretty nice. It's pretty aggressive. It does actually help you because you're trying to rush your opponent down. So whether it be from jamming Veemon, attacking, unsuspending when digivolving and then attacking again, or from, you know, just rushing down with your armors will armor purge and then you digivolve to a different armor because of Davis and Ken, you unsuspend. But yeah, there are many different ways for you to get several attacks in a turn. Ukamon is one such way where you are able to just have Ukamon promote a Digimon from breeding out, hatch an egg, so that you can then get more rapid attacks in. Ukamon is pretty nice for the deck. Do you really need Ukamon? Not really, but I kind of like Ukamon, so I am including Ukamon in my deck. Now to tag off of that, Ukamon helping you to accelerate your hatching. Louis Owada Promo 130 will also accelerate you promoting your Digimon from breeding into battle area, which is really nice. On top of that, every turn afterwards, you will gain a memory. Every time, well, like when you promote for the first time in a turn, you can gain one memory, which is really nice. But yeah, I really like Louis. He is the quote-unquote hybrid for game. As long as you have anything in breeding, and you play out Louis effectively for 2, you can swing for game. So Lanamon is the actual hybrid for game. You are playing 9 blue tamers. Chances are very likely that you will be able to digivolve into Lanamon over a tamer, then swing. So this whole 2-cost thing, pretty nice for the deck if it comes up. You can also give Lanamon jamming by tucking, you know, maybe you want this Star Deck 8 Veemon actually, so they can draw. But yeah, you can tuck a blue Digimon under one of your other Digimon. Or you can just give a different armor form, like this promo Veemon, so they can get an extra draw. But yeah, Lanamon, pretty fun shenanigans, but really for hybrid for game. So I'm using the OG trio of armor forms. So I have the 4 BT8 Flamedramon, 4 BT8 Magnamon, and 4 BT8 Lydramon. Flamedramon, of course, Armor Purge. This is really my only main reason why I'm playing the armor forms, because of Armor Purge. So Flamedramon is more offensive when attacking, plus 3000 DP for the turn. This has actually helped me in getting over my opponent's Digimon. I remember I was playing a game where I had a Veemon digivolve into Flamedramon, attack, effectively 8000 DP, into my opponent's Magnamon X antibody. I then Armor Purge. So I still retain that 3000 DP buff, and then I go into Magnamon BT8, unsuspend, and then gain 2000 DP for each armor form in my trash. So then this Magnamon is already base 10,000 because of that Flamedramon when attacking earlier, so it's 10,000 DP. I think that I had like 3, maybe 4 armor forms in trash. So then I was just able to attack over my opponent's Magnamon X antibody, which is pretty nice. So this when attacking does last until the end of the turn, which is really nice in case you want to attack a second time. But yeah, Magnamon, pretty nice. Gains a whole bunch of DP. It has blocker, it unsuspends, so you can end turn by digivolving into this so you have a blocker out. Or you can, if you can resume turn, digivolve into this and then get an extra attack in. But yeah, this is a pretty nice armor form. You can also swing over your opponent's Digimon as stated before. But yeah, this is a pretty good defensive as well as an offensive component to the deck. Lydramon BT8. So I think that Lydramon was really good back in BT8, BT9, BT10 format. You would suspend one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon, so you can suspend a blocker and then swing for game. Or you can suspend something like a Gatomon, because like Gatomon was also really popular back then. So like you would suspend their level 4 or level 3 Digimon and then swing over it. They would lose a whole bunch of tempo, So then they aren't able to dwindle your security down as quickly as they could have been. But Lydramon was really good back then. Right now, I don't know for sure if Lydramon is as good in this format, because your opponent can spam out Digimon pretty easily. Even if you get rid of one Digimon, it might not really matter. But Lydramon, again, in this deck, because it has Armor Form, Armor Purge, and it can Digivolve from Veemon. For 2, Chimeramon, just as an extra finisher in case you need an extra attack in. You don't have enough memory, for example, to go into Lanamon, or you have 2 armor forms out on field, you just want an extra attack in. You DNA your 2 of your level 4s into Chimeramon, just mainly for the extra attack. Chimeramon also can get rid of your opponent's Digimon by giving them minus 1000 DP. But yeah, this is mainly here for the extra attack. 4 Death X bonds to control field. So if your opponent is trying to rush you down, so since you are going wide and quick, your opponent might try to counter you by actually going wide and quick. So Death Xmon is just the answer against many board states that this deck struggles against. And also, when you do play it down for cheap, you now have a 15,000 DP attacker, which also adds an aggressive element to the deck. The Davises, mainly to memory set, it has synergy with the BT12 Veemon, and also to quote-unquote draw for cards. But you can add a blue Digimon and a green Digimon to hand. Chances are pretty good that you will add at least 1 Digimon to hand, maybe 2 if you reveal a Lydramon and another blue Digimon. But you can realistically get 1 to 2 cards added to hand. Davis Momia and Ken Ichijoji, really great in BT8, BT9, BT10 format, especially if you are playing Fire Rocket, so you get that extra security attack. I have removed Fire Rocket in my build. I don't really rely on it as much anymore, especially since I do have Ukemon, I have Louis, so I can be aggressive in different ways. So I don't need Fire Rocket, but really amazing if you do include Fire Rocket. This build does not include Fire Rocket, but you still gain 1 memory for having a blue Digimon out start of main phase, or 1 memory for having a green Digimon out start of main phase. You gain both if you have a Lydramon out, or you gain both if you have Chimeramon out with Lydramon and sources, because this is considered as having the colors of its Digivolution sources during your turn. But yeah, this is a pretty nice tamer. Mainly it is in this deck for you to attack, Digivolve into an armor form, suspend Davis Momia and Ken Ichijoji, unsuspend your armor form, and then attack again. But yeah, just getting extra attacks in with this tamer is really nice. Promo Davis, so you can play out Veemon from hand without paying cost when this tamer comes into play. So instead of playing out Searcher Veemon for 3, I can instead use that 3 memory that I would have spent on Searcher Veemon, and then spend it on Davis Momia instead. And then Davis Momia will play out Searcher Veemon, or Jamming Veemon. So basically, if my Veemons cost 3, I can, instead of directly playing the Veemon, I can play out Davis Momia, which will then play out the Veemon, which also gives me a memory turn after turn. So Davis Momia promo is more like a memory sink for the deck. I used to run Hammer Sparks, but I figured that Davis Momia promo was really fun to use. Just having an extra 1 memory for having 1 of these out, maybe having an extra 2 memory for having 2 of these out. So Davis Momia, basically the memory sink of the deck. Also, you can Digivolve Lanamon over Davis Momia. Davis Momia is of course a blue tamer, so you have the draw from Wanyamon. But yeah, I really like Davis Momia in the deck. But yeah, that is basically the deck in a nutshell. Just swing out with your Veemons, swing out with Ukemons if you need to, Digivolve into your armor forms, unsuspend your armor forms, attack again, Defexmon for control, DNA for an extra swing, hybrid for an extra swing, Louis, quote unquote, for hybrid for an extra swing. But yeah, a bunch of different things that you can do in this deck. So again, this deck is unchanged from my deck profile video. It was really strong then, it's still pretty strong now. Ukamon is the right move here. So take Ukamon, Digivolve through 0. Take Louis, play Louis. Use. Gain 1, hatch an egg. And then gain 1 more. Choke my opponent at 1, have Ukamon out. Next turn, I can Digivolve into Veemon, play out this other Louis, gain 3 memory, hatch an egg, and then Digivolve into another Veemon. So, based on the Veemons I have in hand, I want to go into the jamming Veemon. They're choking me at 1, but that's okay, because I'll basically gain 3 memory from playing this Louis Awada for 3. So it'll be net 0 cost. So this is going to be insane. Use. Hatch, gain memory. Gain memory. Gain memory. So I started at 1. I am now back at 1. I have an extra Tamer in play. I have an extra Digimon in play that can attack. So that's just really nice. Jamming. I don't quite have lethal yet, but it is surprisingly pretty close. They're going to remove something, and then they're going to remove another thing. So they'll remove 2 things from my field. This is a shame. Like, this deck's main weakness is blocker. So if my opponent has blocker, it does hurt me. Another weakness of this deck is Def Hexmon. So if my opponent has the Def Hexmon, then I basically lose. Nope, they pitied me. They did not swing over my Veemon. Not swing over my Veemon was their mistake. Potentially, I have lethal next turn. If they don't have a blocker out, and if one of my Digimon is not removed by effect, or if they don't have some kind of other weird thing going on, I have lethal next turn. Swing Veemon, swing Def Hexmon, go into Lanamon for 2, swing. And I would have been guaranteed at least 2 memory. My opponent would put me at 1. I'll gain 1 from Davis Ken to go to 2, and then swing with the Lanamon because of that 2 memory. I am so sorry. It occurs to me that I did not change my camera. So That whole first game must have been boring to watch. Um, yeah, I apologize for that. I did not change my camera. Whoops. Yeah, I did not realize I was blocking my cards. Hatch, Wanyamon. So there are several things in which I can do. I feel like the best thing to do here is Ukomon. Then Davis Momia. Blue Digimon, Veemon. Green Digimon, Lydramon. So I'm playing against Tyrant Kabuterimon. And they have Tamer removal, but that doesn't really bother me that much, surprisingly. Ooh, come on. Attack! Go into one of these Veemons. Promote. Gain 1 memory. Flame Dramon for extra livability. Attack! This is really good. Davis Momia. Play Veemon. Play Searcher Veemon, of course. Add free trait Digimon. Add a Tamer of Davis and Nim. No, I will not DNA. Oh, they can suspend my Digimon because of the Tentomon. So they can suspend the Veemon and then swing over the Veemon pretty easily. I don't think that they realize that they can suspend my Digimon. They're gonna swing over the Flamedramon most likely. Armor Purge. Do 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 do. Oh, I know exactly what's going on here. I know that they have the Grand Quagamon Ace in hand. Like, I know 100% sure they have a Grand Quagamon Ace in hand. They start at 8 Veemon because of the Drowned Heritable. They can delete one of my Tamers. I don't think it's worth it. So I can gain... So basically... Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. Just play out the Def X-Mon from hand. It did cost 11 memory, but I can remove 2 Digimon, so to me that seems pretty worth it. My opponent has no Digimon out on field. They did not have a Digimon in raising, so they cannot attack me this turn. So I think that Def X-Mon was really worth it. Okay. So they basically have to be suspended to not be affected by Def X-Mon end of turn deleting their Digimon. They just gave up. I'm telling you, Def X-Mon is the answer. Like, oh, cool. If you know when to use Def X-Mon, like your opponent can't really punish you for giving them a bunch of memory because it means that they don't have any Digimon out, so they can't really attack you that turn. So then they're just like, oh, do I hard play my rookie for 3? Or do I just Digivolve in the back and not do anything? But yeah, Def X-Mon, really nice answer to a bunch of things. Again, this deck is one of my more competitive decks. It is surprisingly really good. So if you think, oh, it's kind of memey because of the Def X-Mons, it's kind of a meme because of the Ukomons, is actually a pretty good deck. because you are able to rush your opponent down so quickly. Veemon can control field, and then just keep getting multi-hits in every turn. There we go. This is okay. It's not amazing, but it's okay. And I will still keep this hand. Go into Promo Ukamon, or like Promo Veemon. Go into Davis Motomiya. Magnamon. Actually, I don't think that it would really matter. Davis and then Defexmon. Because I'm playing against birds. Birds. I think that they would assume that I'm playing Magna X, because right now they've seen the Promo Veemon, the Davis, Defexmon, Magnamon X, and Magnamon X, no, not Magnamon X, regular Magnamon. Reduced by one. Attack. Draw. Come on, that's nice. Armor Purge. It'll be 2, but still worth it. Searcher Veemon. Oh, this is nice. I got 2 hits. Oh, and then they're going to retaliate against the Veemon. Good, I can allow your mon to suspend their blocker. I just suspect that they have a Garudamon in hand, but that Garudamon would not do much against my current Digimon. They have a memory setter. Pokemon is not the right play at this point. For Purge, I may as well Armor Purge. They'll probably swing over the Veemon. Okay, so let's gain memory. Gain memory. I'm actually surprised that I don't have any blockers. The FX spawn is tempting. Nope. The FX spawn is tempting, but the FX spawn won't really remove nothing. I'll just give my opponent like 7 memory to work with. I feel like I have a pretty good chance of having a lethal next turn. For in my hand, I have 2 Promo Ukamons, 2 Promo Louis. Basically what that means is that I can Digivolve Ukamon for 0, play Promo Louis for 3, gain 1 back with Louis, gain 1 Hatchet Egg with Ukamon. So basically an Ukamon that can attack for net 1 cost. And I can do that again because of another Promo Ukamon, another Promo Louis. So for 2 memory, I can get 2 Ukamons out on field that they can attack. Okay. So Ukamon attack 1 cost memory. Ukamon attack 1 cost memory. I'll be at least 5 memory. Hopefully. Armor Purge. Okay. So they get to play a Digimon, delete one of my Digimon, trash top card of my security stack, play a Tamer card. Oh, we're syncing, that's why it's taking a while. But still, I think that I win. So they can play something from hand, delete one of my Digimon. Either way, I'm still having 2 Digimon to attack with. They could block the weaker one, so really one attack will go through. But then I can just Ukamon, or Lanamon for game. I could have just got Ukamon swing, Lanamon swing for 3 extra attacks if I wanted to. This hand is definitely a mulligan. I do not have any Veemons, I don't have any Tamers in hand. This is actually pretty nice. Yep, this is really nice. Absurdly nice. So I'm going to hatch, Digivolve into Jamming Veemon. Davis Moia. Grab another Jamming Veemon because this is the best against Feral Knights. It does not matter to me how tough my opponent's Digimon's DP is. My Veemon will not be deleted. My opponent isn't syncing either, they're just thinking about what to do. Sorry that this video is uneventful. Honestly. If they do not have all 4 Speedramon in hand, this Def X-Mon will hurt them. Will hurt them immensely. So this would definitely be the fun move. I'm not saying that's good, but this is definitely going to be fun. So if you're actually playing against someone, you don't necessarily have to play the FX-Mon out like that. However, because I do play Royal Knights, I do know that if my opponent has a FX-Mon, it's going to devastate me immensely. But if they have all Force Veemon, then my plan just backfires. They're going to delete the FX-Mon. Of course, they'll delete the FX-Mon. Attack! That actually hurts me. Kind of want the promo one, but actually searching one might be better. I'm just really sleepy. I worked a double today, and my opponents are just slow playing the heck out of this game. So I will try to finish this game. I will try for one more game, but then that's it for this video. Like, I didn't really get to showcase this deck as much, which is kind of a shame. But this deck is really fun. I just am not having the chance to really showcase how useful it is because I keep getting slow played. Magnamon? There was a Magnamon. My opponent may or may not be toying with me, depending on if they have Omnimon in hand. It's very good for me because they did not get deleted, so they don't get to use the on deletion. They did have an Omnimon in hand. My opponent was messing with me. Okay, I'm going to try to play one more. Okay, cool, I got matched. It's Rick Hart. Mulligan. This is actually pretty nice. This is actually really nice. Going to promo Veemon. Going to Davis again. I will be at least 2 memory on my turn. So I can go into the Magnemon. It could be a Zudamon Ace in hand. That is always an imminent possibility. So the reason why I got Magnemon is because I think that I'm just going to ignore Digivolving Veemon and Raising because I have 2 Ukamons right now. So I can really just go over the Ukamons. They got what they wanted. That makes sense. So my armor form can no longer armor purge. So I'm going to go to 7 memory. It's a little tough to see who has lethal quite. But if all goes well, I will have lethal next turn. It did not get deleted. Blue Digimon. Green Digimon. My opponents keep slow playing me. So I really don't know why. Oh. So I have 11 memory to work with there. They do not have a good one ace in hand. That does not affect me. That honestly does not affect me. Yep. It's the only way. I guess I could have evoed Ukmon or Veemon on my egg so that I can gain memory. Or like not gain, draw a card. So what colors am I? So yellow, blue, green. Honestly, it doesn't matter if I want red. Swing! I don't know if they're gonna concede or not, which is the thing. No. I'm actually pretty impressed. Like, I just went all the way up to 10 memory. So like, I had so many effects that gave me memory. It was actually insane. So I feel like I should end the video here. Thank you for watching. I didn't really get to showcase the deck as much, but hopefully I showcased it enough so then you know how to play the deck. It is pretty competitive. It is surprisingly really competitive because as long as you rush your opponent down, if you rush them down quickly, they can't really counter your strategy unless of course they have blockers out. Blockers will greatly hinder your strategy. So if they're playing out Royal Knights, so like they're just plopping down blockers, it will greatly hinder you. But for so long as they don't really play out blockers or multi-deletion effects, then you should be good. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see y'all later.